back to another episode of Inspiring Generations. Today, I have in studio with me a young man that I met in Chelsea, just walking, and we had a conversation of engagement, and I felt free with him to ask him what does he do for a living, and he was generous enough to tell me that he worked in film, and I was inspired to see such a young person who is taking initiative to do something passionate and to do something that he loves. And when I met him and his friend, they were actually enjoying this space and the mural in the Chelsea Walk. And they were admiring the textiles that the artist painted. And I was free to tell them that I had a little hand in it. So I got my mark on that mural in the Chelsea Walk. So we had a little conversation about that. And then I invited him to come on Inspiring Generations. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Salem, Galicia.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Hi, Salem.
Hi.
Wow. I didn't think you would even give me a shot, but you did, and I appreciate it so much. Questions that I have for you of why you inspired me would be the questions of where did you go to film school?
Well, at first I studied at Full Sail University, Media and Communications, and then after that, I went to LA Film School, the LA Film School, over down there in Los Angeles. I'm really proud of that. It's going really well.
But you wasn't born in Los Angeles or California.
No, I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's like a couple hours from here. That's where I was born. I lived a little bit of time in New York, Worcester, and then I came down to Chelsea. And yeah, it's been a ride.
And may I ask you, what's your cultural background?
Well, my parents are Hispanic Latinos. My mom's Mexican. My dad's Guatemalan. I've had the blessing to learn about both cultures. I've been able to visit Mexico on various occasions. It's been really nice. I enjoy it really well. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So living here in Chelsea and being a young film producer, do you see a lot of locations, shall I say, locations in Chelsea that would inspire you to do film here?
Yes. There's been a couple of locations actually that movies have been filmed here. For example, down in Bellingham Square, Ted 1 and Ted 2 were recorded both there. Black Mass with Johnny Depp has also been recorded there. It's been filmed there. And many other movies like Town, other movies that were recorded here in Boston and Chelsea. The Departed also with Jack Nicholson and Leonardo DiCaprio also filmed around these areas. And well, yeah, it's
Yeah, we are located in an area where we do get a lot of people interested in doing films here. But what are your favorite films to make, and who inspired you to get into film? It'd be two questions in one.
Yeah. Well, the person he still inspires me today. It's his name is Quentin Tarantino. He's a great movie director. He's done amazing movies like Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, Kill Bill, all of Kill Bill movies. His way of visioning and storytelling, takes the viewer into the movie.
Yes.
It makes them feel.
Yes, definitely.
even though they're gory, they're violent, but they make you, they make the viewer,
Yeah, it
feel
draws
what.
you in for sure.
Yes.
Because I remember when I saw Pulp Fiction for the first time, I was like, who is this director? Because I'm a big dance scene
Yeah.
person. So when John Travolta and Uma Thurman, do their dance,
Yeah.
the Kill Bill, he used her a lot.
Yeah. He
You
did.
ever see somebody that didn't like Quentin Tarantino's films?
Well, I've never met anybody that actually disliked his films and stuff.
Right.
I just there are some people that may say the stuff because of the violence that are involved in the movie, but that's what that's the interesting part of his
Exactly.
movie. Those are his that's his main one of his main traits, the violence.
Trademark, you
Yes.
call it, right?
Yes, correct.
So you're California doing film school. Did you get to meet anybody that was big in film to come in and inspire you at school?
At this up to now, nobody has no big film director has come and talk to us, but I did meet a writer. He made a movie for I forgot what movie it was called, but it's a pretty famous movie. I just forgot the name of it, but yeah, I've met some writers that write movies and stuff, and they do screenplays, and yeah, I've asked them for advice and stuff like that. Yes.
Right. And so you got this whole big future ahead of you. And, and I can see you doing great things. I can see you doing really
Thank you.
great things. But you haven't settled into any particular subject matter that you would like to present to your audience would be your trademark. What would that look like?
Well, up to this this day, I'm still working on that, but I want something that will impact everybody, not just me, not just because something that I've always liked saying is that whatever I'd make everybody enjoy, or at least make everybody understand what I'm trying to show.
Yeah.
It's for example, like if I'm gonna make a film about somebody, I'm gonna make them understand what that person was going through.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on a screenplay, a script right now about a person, that is giving a huge task, a task that nobody has ever been given, and it's not himself that he's fighting; it's everybody else. Because it's a certain event that nobody ever saw before at the time, and well, everybody would hate him for it. It's about that's what I want my viewers to see, my audience to see.
Right.
I want them to engage with the character, make sure that they feel what they're going through. So that's something that I would mainly want to focus on.
Like subject matter on human conditions.
Yes, correct.
Because those also can be tragic.
Yeah.
You can find love in relationships. You can find tragedy. You can find faith. There's so many subjects to tap into. Yeah. And that's great that you have that mindset that you want to be able to engage your audience into what you create. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Moving along, you lived in Chelsea for how long?
All my life I've lived here. I've grown up and seen different changes. I've also been experienced some negative stuff about it. So I know everything that has
Okay.
gone here.
Okay.
I know everything that's been
Okay.
that has gone here throughout the years.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, I've grown up here.
You know, I love history. History is like my best friend. It's my major. I major
Oh, wow.
in history and social work. My Bachelor of Science in Social Work,
Nice.
but in communications as well.
Okay.
So that comes along with secondary school for business management, and it taught me a few things about life. So going to college actually is where you really find yourself. You know, you start really finding yourself. Did you ever feel as a young film producer that you couldn't find, it was hard to find places where you fit in, you know, amongst your peers?
All the time. Like, since I was a kid, it was hard for me to fit in places because I always tried to be, you know, different. I didn't like, because back then, you know, when I was a kid, everybody had their groups and stuff like that, and they would do things that I wouldn't agree in, and you know, I'd be bullied for that. But you know, I had beliefs because I've always been a religious person.
Okay.
And for that reason, you know, they would, you know, discriminate me. They would, like, you know,
I know the feeling.
give me a side. Yes.
Yeah.
So growing up, it was pretty hard fitting in with kids. It was pretty hard having friends for me. So not and I don't regret that at all, not one bit, because I am who I am today. You know, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown up now. I'm an adult,
Right.
and you know, and my life has been really good. I've enjoyed my life to the max, and you know, it's been really good. But everybody starts off somewhere, you know.
Definitely.
People, you know, may have the impatience to say, I want my life to be good now. But your life is being prepared. You're being stronger. You're building up to be a stronger person because something is going to happen to you in the future. So,
Yes.
you know, as for me, I was always being prepared. You know, I always felt like, you know, something was going to happen. I always, well, ask myself, where am I going to be in the next a couple of years until I found film. You know, yes, I would see other people, they would be bigger than me. You know, like I said, the script writers from actual movies that I met, you know, masters in what they do. And I'd be like, you know, I want to live up to them. How can I live up to them? Look at me now.
Yeah.
So instead of backing down, giving up in everything that I had, I started learning by myself, you know. Got all the stuff that was from film, you know, and I would study it. Film shots, how to direct, how to do everything like that, how to script write, how to produce. And that's how I became, well, at first an independent filmmaker, you know.
Right.
And other than that, I wanted more knowledge, so I decided to study this career.
Yeah.
So before I went to college, I did have knowledge in film. I did have knowledge in how to do stuff like that. And, you know, that's what I feel like everybody should do instead of backing down from their dreams and, you know, giving up. So that's...
Did the passion start for you when you were at high school?
Yeah, it started when I was 17 years old. I was, like I said, I was almost about to graduate and I didn't know what I wanted to study. So I met film when I actually applied for a news channel. And, well, after that, you know, I didn't have knowledge of anything. My mom was a reporter at the time, so I wanted to get into that. I started off by editing.
Oh, wow.
It was hard for me at first, but then it just became something easy to do. So, yeah, that's how it all started. And, well, yeah.
So great things start at home.
Exactly.
From the home. Tell me a little bit about your parents. You know, they live here in Chelsea.
Yes, correct.
Your dad is from Guatemala,
yes.
And your mom's from Mexico.
Correct.
And they've been married for how long?
They've been married for about 25 years.
So they met way before they had you.
Yeah.
And they've been guiding you to your manhood and giving you the tools that you need to go out in the world and be the loving, kind person that you are. And I could sense that in you. When I met you, I was like, gee, there's not a lot of young men like, you know, men your age today, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but for the most part, in my experience as a senior and a woman, a lot of young men your age do not try to help out anymore as much as, you know. I see these signs on the train now, respect your elders. Like, I was taught that from home, like, but now we have to actually visualize, you know, the words.
Yeah.
You know, we have to put it universally so everybody can be reminded. Some of us don't have to be reminded.
Yeah.
Like yourself and your friend. You're very generous.
Thank you.
And don't ever stop being that way.
Thank you.
And like you said, what comes out of bullying, what comes out of people not having faith in you, what comes out of all of that, even in our failures, right, makes us a stronger person.
Correct.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
And being that you're young and you're faith-driven, you have that extra coverage. You have that extra protection from a higher power.
Yeah.
That motivates you to stay humble.
Correct.
Right? Especially in this time where we're going through such a heightened sense of people not wanting to look at each other for their character and not for the color of their skin.
Exactly.
You know, or not how they height, or or because they didn't even have a higher level of education. You know, because some people are discriminated on that end too. So there's so many subjects to touch on why people can be malicious and rude and disrespectful. You know, because we never know what they're going through. You know what I mean? Somebody could be going through something and oppose to act on, you know, someone, and they don't know them from anywhere. But it's just an impulse of actions, right?
Yeah, it's so my parents have always taught me to be, you know, a kind person. I've also, in my religion, in my church, they teach us to be, you know, good people, you know, before being good in this religion, be good citizens, because that's what's going to reflect into what your teaching is. So that's always been my way of living. So people can go through stuff. Yeah, we all go through some stuff, but we shouldn't stay in that part of our lives. I've gone through a couple of sad things throughout my life, and I've had the excuse to stay in that place, you know, as an aggressive person. But I decided not to, because I don't want to be, you know, other than my personal, you know, opinion, there's also other people's opinions.
Exactly.
Other people have feelings, other people have ways of living, and, you know, I respect that, and I have to respect it, because I'm not, you know, they're their person, I'm my person.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have to respect of how they live. So, nowadays it's something surprising to see a guy that's, you know, humble, because it doesn't go around anymore. But
it's scarce right now.
Yeah. But
because people are confused.
Yeah.
And they're searching for something, right? Whether it's positive or negative, you know, whatever they're looking for, you know, it might not be in a humanitarian sense.
Correct.
Or feeling like you're a human being too. I'm just what they could say, a obstacle. maybe sometimes they can see us as that, people that think that way. But that's another type of thinking, and, you know, I pray for those people.
Correct.
That's what I do. I pray for them,
Yeah.
you know, through faith, because I'm a faith-based person as well. I like the fact that Chelsea has some amazing young people here, you know, and you're one of them. You're one. I've met some amazing young people, and you're one of them.
Thank you.
And I like to see so much more from you, Salem. You know, we have to stay in touch.
Yeah, we will be
Okay?
in touch.
I got to follow your films because I'm a movie buff, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I like all the, like we were talking about the Robert De Niro's and the
yeah.
and the Sonnies of the Bronx Tale, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, they had a code of honor.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes sense that these communities have people to watch out in their community, right? That's what I drew from that particular one. You know, you had these bunch of guys, the Bronx Tale, these bunch of guys that was in the community. Even though people saw them as bad guys, there were some people that saw them as
That's good.
the best because they looked out.
Yeah.
And they had those stereotypes and assumptions way back then, and they're still going to have them now.
Still today, yes.
So I don't think we'll ever eradicate the behaviors of the system that was designed to let people behave that way. But you can do great things for other youth
Yes.
as well, like you're on this program today, talking about even your little struggles, you know, and your achievements, and what you've said some inspiring things. But if you can give a young person right now that wants to get into film, and they didn't have the access of going to school, what advice can you give them?
Well, dreams shouldn't be limited according to how people see you or how you think you see yourself. And what I mean with that is, I grew up in a like as a kid, I grew up in not in a rich household. I was lower than middle class. We did struggle like a couple of times, and you know, typically the rich kid will see as those people, or not rich kid, but like society will see those people as people that will stay where they were born. In reality, that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't limit yourself according to what other people think of you. You have your own dreams, you have your own goals in life, and you have to follow them, regardless no matter how big they are, no matter how heavy they are. You have to follow them. If you want to do something, you will accomplish it. I never saw myself as a upcoming film director. I never saw myself as a person studying for film. I saw myself, according to the situations, maximum the manager of a McDonald's, because that's what you grow up in. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It's a good thing, but that's where I had my mindset. In the future, you have to look past that. You have to be more than what you think you're gonna be. I want to, I've always wanted to be something. I've always wanted to be someone, but not like famous or rich. I'd rather be somebody that inspires people.
Right.
Because I've gone through a couple of difficulties in my life. They haven't been the worst difficulties.
Right.
They haven't been, because I know there's people that go through way worse things than me, and I understand them because I've also gone through a lot of bad things. But that should be the cause of inspiration in order to uprise, to stand up,
That's right.
and be who you really want to be.
That's right.
If you want to be like the world's best chef, the world's greatest artist, you're going to do it because you got to put your mindset to that. You got to put your goals to that and your dedication. It's going to be tough. excuse me, life is always tough. You know, it will always stab you in the back, but you know, it depends of how strong you are in order to keep standing up.
So
You
when
know,
life knocks you down,
you stand back
to
up.
be able to pick yourself back up again and get going.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's correct.
yes, yes. And if you find a person that has been knocked down and you have the strength, you come along and
You help
pick
them
that
out.
person up.
You don't ever, if you ever see somebody struggling, if you ever see them, you know, struggling with it, with this stuff, you don't pass by them. Like, it's exactly like seeing somebody falling in the ground. It's exactly what it is. You see someone fall in the ground, you're not just gonna pass by them. You're gonna help them stand up.
Exactly.
You're gonna help them. You know, if they're hurt, you're gonna get something to, like, you know, make them feel better. Maybe a bandage, and that's how it is in real life. You know,
Right.
you see somebody struggling, you help them out with
Yeah.
struggling. You never know if, like, somebody needs a word of advice, or you never know if somebody needs that, and that would be the last thing that they need in order to, you know, become
Definitely.
the best thing that can.
So, lastly, before we wrap it up, are you working on anything right now? You don't want to give it away, that's okay.
Well,
But, you know, inspire us to let us know, like, we can have you back again.
Yeah.
So we could talk about your project when you complete it, because I know when I called you last night, you was working on some film stuff. So, you know, are you going to be engaging us some more with your work?
Well, I am. I'm technically not supposed to talk about it, but like.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you don't, but you could just, all you could just say is yes.
Yes, I mean, I can speak a little bit about my projects. So I am working on something. I am trying to work on something. Like, it's some scripts that I am writing about life events that have happened, because, you know, I want, like I said earlier, I want people to see what other people go through. You know, people go through really tough things in their life. It's not a story about me. It's a story about somebody that I will remain anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that, you know, that I hope can inspire people.
Thank you.
That I hope can
Thank you.
people. It would change the way that society sees
Yes.
people that struggle, because people that struggle, it's not their fault that they struggle. You know?
Yes.
Stuff happens in their life, and they have to use that in order to
Right, you want
become
to
a better
visualize
person.
it.
Yes.
You want to, because, you know, so it can touch a range of audiences.
Correct.
Salem. This is Salem, Galicia. On Inspiring Generations. You know I have the Espanol accent. You know, I'm trying to drop it, but it's hard.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's very hard. I want to thank you so much for coming in and having this conversation. Like I said in the beginning, he's such an inspiring young man. I'm happy that he's in our community. He lives amongst us. He's out there doing things so he can make an impact and inspire others as well. We can look for more from Salem in the future. And I thank you for watching Inspiring Generations.
Thank you.